Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of the connection, so we've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I do have a different tarot deck for each side of this connection that we will be using, as well as the advice deck that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what does resonate and help and leave what doesn't. All right, Taurus. Let's jump in. On your side of this connection, you have overstepped boundaries with the Eight of Cups. Someone in this connection walked away. I'm not sure if it was you or if it was them. Either way, you definitely feel like screwed over, for lack of a better word. I definitely feel as if with this overstepped boundaries, in this connection, this person had a tendency to cross your boundaries or certainly not respect your boundaries in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like this, since this has happened, I feel like the energy has been very stuck. Like it's been very hard for you to progress. It's been very hard for you to move forward. It's been very hard for you to rebuild, whatever resonates with you the most. Now, this person, they have inconsistencies with the Six of Swords in reverse. What I thought was the most interesting here about this, these cards, is that there's boats in both of them. So I definitely feel like this person is not just like hot, cold, up and down, left, right, but just like all over the place in so many different aspects of their life. And I feel like they definitely brought that energy into the connection, because with this inconsistencies, I feel like there wasn't necessarily consistency in terms of like what they said versus what they did, or what they promised versus how they showed up. Like I just feel like there was a huge gap there. Now with the Six of Swords in reverse, I do feel as if this person's stuck. They're not really capable of moving forward either. Now it's interesting because, as we'll see in the overall truth of the connection, there's influence and distractions with the Chariot in reverse. So I feel like there are a lot of outside influences that directly impacted this connection. Maybe other people, or whisperings from other people or other people's opinions, or just like outside factors that didn't necessarily have to do with the connection, but directly affected the connection. Now with the Chariot in reverse, and why I said that I thought this was interesting, is there's this stagnancy in between the connection as well. So everyone in this is stuck, like unsure how to handle things, unsure how to move forward, unsure how to get out of this energy. Now the overall theme for the reading is shift. I feel as if this can be applied to all different aspects of this connection. Like, I feel as if you're going through a shift, first of all, like a personal shift. I feel as if the shift in this connection led to your personal shift. And I feel as if the shift in connection that led to your personal shift was brought on by this person's energetic shift. Like this person shifted, which shifted the connection, which is kind of putting you through a, maybe even a transformation, like definitely going through this period of change in all different kinds of ways, maybe in terms of the connection, maybe just in terms of your personal journey, maybe across the board. But I do feel like this connection is in a definitely like, I don't know, it's like it's stuck, but things are also shifting. It's difficult to explain, but I feel like we'll get a lot more clarity on that as we start to pull tarot. So let's start, Taurus, with your side of this connection. This is Taurus's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. This is Taurus's side of this connection. The person they are dealing with. Taurus's side of this connection. Overstep boundaries with the Eight of Cups. This is for Taurus's energy toward the person they are dealing with. Taurus's energy toward the person they are dealing with. I definitely feel as if you were willing to do the work to put the pieces back together here, because I do feel like things kind of fell apart. But I also feel as if, you know, I am a firm believer, and I have said this in a lot of my readings, and I'll continue to say this. I think that it is always possible for two people to make it work, but both people have to be willing to do the hard stuff to make it work. And I'm not just talking about working on the connection. I'm talking about the personal inner work, the healing, the, you know, facing aspects that, you know, they don't want to face, things like that. Another thing that I kind of feel here is you're putting a lot of like the blame or the pressure on yourself in some way, Taurus. Like, I wasn't good enough, or I should have seen this coming, or like I messed up, or like whatever the case is. Like, there's this almost like this blame that you're putting on yourself in some way, shape, or form, which I feel like is also contributing to not really being able to move forward or to progress, even if it's like within the connection. Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Taurus's side of this connection, please. This is for Taurus's side of this connection, the Five of Cups. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt that you're disappointed about this, but here's the thing. Okay. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, I feel like you definitely took on a lot of this person's burdens. Maybe emotional unavailability, or toxic habits, or I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but I do feel as if you were very much a support system for this person. I don't feel like they were very much a support system for you. Not that they weren't there, but they weren't there. Like, even if this connection is still together. Someone did walk away though, so I don't think it is. But it could also, it's in a shift period, so who the heck knows. I do, you know, I do feel like this person has done a really, really good job at making you feel unlovable, or like undeserving of love. Now, it's interesting because I don't really actually feel like bad energy from this person. I don't feel like they're like a bad person. I don't feel like they have bad intentions. I feel like a lot of what's going on in this connection is stemming from wounds triggering wounds, which is typically the case, but there's definitely more to it than that too. But yeah, at the end of the day, I do feel as if like you've taken on a lot of their burdens, and maybe that's why you've put so much pressure on yourself. Like, I should have known, or I should have seen this coming, or I should have been able to help more, or something. It's like, but I feel like a lot of this has a lot to do, like, I feel like it's really easy to see where we mess up, or where we're not good enough, or where we have flaws. And you know, when we really love and care about someone, it's also really easy to put them on a pedestal and to say, you know, to only see kind of the good in them, or to see things for how we want to see them, instead of being, you know, honest with ourselves and saying, no, this person, you know, has hurt me, and I'm valid in feeling that way. I don't know, something of that nature. It's almost like there's a lot of just putting this pressure, this blame on yourself. Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Okay, I'm going to take those because I definitely feel like those were supposed to come out. The Nine of Cups, the King of Wands in reverse, in the World. And this Page of Swords. There's no doubt that you very much wanted things to work in this connection. I mean, obviously, right? Like, you don't get into a connection going, man, I hope this fails. And I feel like you were willing to look past a lot, if I'm being honest. I feel like you were willing to maybe ignore red flags or ignore certain behaviors or ignore certain treatments. And I feel like a lot of that is kind of common for you in relationships. It's almost like, I don't necessarily even know if it's rose-colored glasses. It's almost like you give people the benefit of the doubt so much in your relationships, it feels like, Taurus, but you forget to give yourself that same benefit of the doubt. Like, you're just as deserving of love. You're just as good, and just as deserving. But it feels like you come from this place of self-doubt where you feel like you should give other people the benefit of the doubt because you have so many flaws, or because you mess up, or because you're not perfect, or something like that. I don't know. It's just like this pressure that you put on yourself. It's almost like this level of feeling like you have to be perfect in order to receive the love that you deserve. Feeling like you have to be fully healed or the most attractive person in the room, or like whatever the case is, in order to be deserving of love. And obviously that's not true. You're deserving of love for who you are. But this connection is definitely displaying a pretty intense cycle that is typically repeating in your relationships, like of all variety, not just romantic ones. And these readings don't have to just be about romantic connections either. They could be about any form of connections. And I do encourage you to think outside the box there. Because typically when you're dealing with a cycle in one connection, you're probably dealing with that same cycle in other connections as well. But yeah, okay. So the King of Wands in reverse, it's like, I feel like when we put a lot into a relationship, into a person, into a connection, and it fails, or they do us wrong, or whatever the case is, it can feel as if like we're not capable of love, because to us, we're like, man, like I really gave that everything I had, and look at what happened. And that's where like we start to put the blame on ourselves and say, this has to do with me, or this is, this is a direct reflection of my inability to love and be loved, or whatever the case is, when usually there's so much more going on and it's not so black and white. But it's really easy to fall into that black and white thinking when you're dealing with something like this. So I get it, but I do feel like there's this need to give yourself a little bit more grace in a way. Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with, because your boundaries were overstepped here. And, it's almost like you feel as if that's, I don't want to say like what you deserve, or like what is necessary in order for you to have or experience love. But I do feel like there's more to what's really going on here than just like what this person did and the reasons as to why you think they did what they did. But we'll see. All right. This is for Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Taurus's side of the connection. It feels as if you don't really know what to do. Like you do know what to do, but you don't know what to do. This connection has definitely been very... It's challenged you in a lot of ways that you've never really been challenged before. And I feel like it's put you in a tough place, like to make a tough decision, or to not necessarily make a tough decision, but like, really have to choose yourself, really have to put yourself first, really have to see that you're deserving of more. Because with the Moon card here, there's a lot of fear that you're experiencing. Fear, anxiety, in this Moon card, although it does represent fear, it also represents illusion. It represents needing to see that a lot of what we end up worrying about, I think it's like 90-something%. Most of what we end up worrying about never happens. But it's an illusion. It's a part of our a part of our mind. It's not actually our reality. But I do feel as if this connection has put you in this like really unsafe place. So like that's how you feel. Like you feel very unsafe. You feel very like not protected, or very very much like you're living in fear. And I feel like with the Seven of Cups here, it's like you don't know what to do, because sometimes when we separate from a connection, one that specifically isn't very good for us, or that doesn't treat us very well, our fear and our anxiety is going to come up. And there's going to be this part of us that second guesses, like, was I actually happier or better off in the connection than I am now? Because the fear and the what ifs and the stress and the anxiety and all of that you have to face when any kind of stable part of your life comes to an end. Not that I necessarily think that this was a stable part of your life, but like when anything that was like a part of your life walks away or separates itself from you, like of course those things are going to be natural. But I feel like it's really important that you don't allow the fear to dictate what you do next in this connection, or just in general. I mean, you can say that about literally any situation. You are going through a pretty big transformation, I feel like. This is Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Taurus's side of this connection. Taurus's side of this connection, please. Ooh. This is for Taurus's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. You see, you're confused. See, that's the thing, is I feel like there's a new beginning coming. That it's something like things have to move on from this. Things have to move forward from this. But I feel like you have no idea what that looks like. Like, is it a new beginning with them? Is it a new beginning with someone else? Is it a new beginning on my own? Like, I feel like there's this energy of having like no idea how to start over or where to go from here. Now, that's why I feel like a lot of this influence and distractions comes from, is maybe this person is saying a lot of things, or maybe you're listening maybe more to words than you are to behavior, or allowing that fear of like that allows you to second guess yourself and be like, was I better in this connection? Like, is that treatment as good as it gets? Like, am I supposed to just forgive and forget, or something like that? Like, I don't necessarily know exactly what it is, and I feel like it's too specific for a general reading, but I do definitely feel like there's this energy of like, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know. I want a new beginning, but I don't know if I want it with this person. I don't know if they can be what I need, but I also don't want to make the wrong mistake and lose the potential and blah, 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 blah. And I can tell you right now that if in any moment you are choosing yourself and choosing what is best for you, you're never losing out on what could have been. You're always taking the right steps forward, even if it feels like you're losing some form of potential. This is for Taurus's side of this connection. This is for Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Taurus's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Taurus's side of the connection. There's a Chariot in reverse. So yeah, it's almost like you're at this I don't want to call it a dead end, because it doesn't feel like a dead end. I just feel like there's this point where you're like, I can't keep going like I am. Something's got to change. Something's going to have to give, if you will. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make certain moves. And my best advice is just do what, it's easy to say do what's best for you. But typically doing what is best for you means doing what you're most afraid of. Choosing yourself is really scary when we're so used to sacrificing our worth for the sake of things, for the sake of people, for the sake of income, for the sake of whatever. it becomes really difficult to like recognize what choosing yourself even looks like, because you might feel like, oh, well, if I choose myself and I walk away from this for good, am I going to end up alone forever? Like, am I going to have no one? Am I going to be worse off than I am accepting, this treatment? Because I just don't feel like treated very well here. I don't feel like this person's a bad person. I don't. I feel, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in. Before I start trying to figure it out, let's just see what tarot has to say. This person's energy toward Taurus, inconsistencies with the Six of Swords in reverse. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus. One more. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. Oh, that is too much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they've got a lot going on. I can tell you that right now. I feel like it's gonna sound kind of cheesy, but I feel like this person has a lot they wish that they could say to you, but I also don't feel like they know how. Maybe they don't have the emotional awareness to do that, or they don't know how to contact you. I don't know. Something. This person's energy toward Taurus. Okay. Oh, that was right. Whew, yeah, this connection has pushed this person very far out of their comfort zone. Four of Pentacles in reverse, and then there's that same Six of Swords in reverse. So the way that this connection has affected this person, it has pushed them very far out of their comfort zone. And I also feel like that's why they were are very hot and cold in this, is it's this like, this connection makes them feel uncomfortable. Not you make them feel uncomfortable. You're not doing anything. It's not your energy. It's not even a bad thing. It's just that, like, I don't know if it's the intensity. I don't know if it's the love you show up with. I don't know what it is, but it definitely pushes them in some way. And I feel like they do a lot of pushing back. Like, they do what they can to stay in their comfort zone. I don't know. I feel like there's more about this boat thing. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. There's the burden. There's the Ten of Wands they're putting on you. Oof, they've got a lot going on. Oh my. Okay, I mean, Ten of Wands, Seven of Cups, Temperance in reverse, Five of Wands, Six of Pentacles in reverse. They are, in a very real way, at war with themselves. I feel like they have a lot of baggage, maybe from past relationships, maybe from, childhood trauma or other forms of trauma. They have a lot of baggage for sure. And I feel as if, in this connection, you kind of said, here, let me be your safe space. Let me help carry some of that for you. So, they had these Ten of Wands, and in the beginning, it was like you took two wands. And you were like, let me help you. Let me help you with that. That's a lot to carry. And then over time, it's like they just kept giving you wands. And, all of a sudden, you had 9 of their wands, and you're like, man, my backpack's full. I don't even have much room for my own stuff because so much of the connection is taken up by their stuff. And I feel like that, their inconsistencies, their emotional unavailability, if they do have like bad habits or, something that isn't good for them that they're focused on, or whatever the case is, like over time it just became too much for you. It was too much for you to carry. You can't carry someone else's burdens and your own. Sure, you can help make it easier for other people. You can take two, and then eventually they take that back and they take some of yours. That's how a healthy relationship works, is there's this give and there's this take. But I feel like you gave and you supported and you helped and you do or did what you could, and then in the end you just were like, man, I'm heavy. I don't have anything else to give because I'm heavy. I've got too much in my backpack. So a lot of this person's behavior in this connection, I'd even go as far as to say is the majority of it doesn't really have a whole lot to do with you. I don't think that they are able to really know what it is, because I do feel like they desired this connection. Like, I feel like feelings are mutual. I don't know. I feel like they just don't have the tools. They don't have the tools. They need someone to carry. They're looking for someone to carry their wands. They're not dealing with their wands. They're not dealing with their burdens. They're just looking for someone to hold them then. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. Emotional unavailability. I mean, yeah, this person's emotionally unavailable. Not really a whole lot more to say to that. I just feel like they're it's like they desire the support that you provide, but they really, in the end, don't really know how to accept it, first of all. And second of all, definitely don't know how to reciprocate it. So they have this desire, like to you, like I feel like they see the potential. They see what you can provide them. They see how you can help. But when I do these readings, I'm reading below the surface. I'm reading into the subconscious. So I'm not necessarily saying this is something this person is thinking through, right? They're not sitting there going, man, I really like the support that Taurus gives me, but I just don't know how to accept it or reciprocate it, They're emotionally unavailable. They're emotionally closed off. They're probably not even doing a whole lot of reflecting like that anyway. But that can definitely give you clarity when it comes to moving forward, because you kind of have to ask yourself, is this person capable of giving me what it is that I need and desire in love? Is this person capable of loving me the way that I deserve to be loved? And, depending on what your answer is, it is either yes, they are, or no, they aren't. Not, well, if they, did this, or if they fixed this, or if they healed this, or if they blah, blah, blah. That's not an answer. It is either yes or no. Is this person able to, people can only meet you where they're at today. Based on where this person is at today, is this person capable of providing me with the love that I am deserving of? And that answer right there, yes or no, that is your answer. That's the clarity you're looking for. That's the shift that needs to happen, because I feel like you're in this in between. I don't really know what to do. There's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad, and this person had potential, and I really like them, or I really love them, or I really care for them, but here are all the reasons why this really hurt me. And I feel like you've been so back and forth and confused on what to do, but you've got to answer that question for yourself based on what this person has shown you. Where they are at today, is this person capable of providing you with the love that you are deserving of? And that's your answer. I'm not going to answer that for you. That is 100% your decision to make, and it doesn't matter what I say. You're going to do what you do anyway. But I just feel like that's a big part of what this reading is talking about is like, don't listen to your friends, don't listen to what this person has to say, don't listen to your family. Like, I think it's a good thing to ask for, different, opinions, but we already know. Your gut already knows exactly what the answer is in this connection. You're not your like ego, the loud part of you that's like, you should stay because there's so much history and you've put so much into this, and what if you end up alone forever? That's your ego. That's not your soul. Your soul, your gut is there to say, this is what's best for you. This is what you need to do. This is what I'm asking you to do so that you can receive the love that you're deserving of. And that's the voice that I feel is trying to speak to you during this reading. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. This person's energy toward Taurus. There's the kicker. They don't feel good enough for you, Taurus. They don't feel good enough for you. You're over here doubting whether or not you're good enough for them. They don't feel good enough for you, and I feel like they've projected that on you because they did say that this person has done a pretty good job at making you feel unlovable. I feel like that's why this connection really pushed them out of their comfort zone, is because their insecurities came out a lot and they had to, address those. And people pretty much do whatever they can to not have to address their insecurities head on. Most people, and definitely this person. So I feel like, if you're sitting here going, second guessing yourself or blaming yourself or whatever, like putting this pressure on yourself, just understand that both people in this connection are dealing with their own wounds, their own trauma, their own insecurities, their own fears, their own, whatever. The last thing that either person in this connection needs to be doing is worrying about what the other person needs right now. Both people in this connection need to be saying, what is best for me? What do I need to do for me? And that can sound really selfish because it can sound like I'm saying, in connections, you should only look out for yourself. And obviously that is not true. That is not what I'm saying. But if you are not putting yourself first, you're putting yourself last. And it is possible to both put yourself first and a healthy connection first. It is possible to do that. But you have to, in order to find that balance between the two, you have to understand that putting a connection first should never mean you are sacrificing your needs, your desires, or your worth. And I feel like you're not able to both prioritize the connection and yourself. And that's why I feel things are so challenging for you, is because you have done a lot of prioritizing this connection and not a whole lot of prioritizing yourself. And maybe you don't know that you can, or that you should, or that you're deserving of that, or that can lead to good things. This person's energy toward Taurus. But you're going through a shift here. A pretty big one at that. This person's energy toward Taurus. I like this. I feel like they're trying, emphasis on trying, to take accountability for their actions in the past. But I also kind of feel that they're getting their karma. Like there is some form of them getting their karma coming through here. I don't like saying that because other people's karma is not your business. Your business is your karma. Your business is what you've got going on. But, I feel like when someone hurts us and does us wrong and, moves on with their life and just seemingly seems like they're fine, it's really frustrating because we're going to be like, man, someone came into my life, wrecked me, and then just freaking left and, got out unscathed. Karma is a very real thing. Like, if there is anything that I have learned, it is that karma is a very real thing. But it doesn't always come in the form that you think or in the way that you think. And a lot of times the way that people are having to live with themselves and like that, the damage that they've done to others and the ways that they've hurt other people, like that within itself is karma. You know, having to live in that state of misery and that state of like hell is karma. Now, obviously, you don't want to wish that on anyone, right? That within itself is going to give you bad karma. But what I'm saying is that everyone's going to get their karma. I think a lot of times we feel like when we don't get what we deserve from someone, that it means that, like, first of all, that we're never going to get what we deserve, or that them getting hurt in the way that they hurt us is going to like heal us in some way. But that never happens. It's never true. You know, someone else hurting the way that you've hurt isn't going to heal you. You're just going to be hurting, and then also so are they, you know, and you're going to be hurting the exact same. You're not going to be there going, wow, I'm really glad this person is hurting. You're going to go, man, I'm still hurting. So I just feel like there's this need to, you know, I feel like you're very loving, you're very empathetic, and you want to do what's best for this person. But you've done enough of that, Taurus. You've done enough of what is best for this person, and it is time for you to do what is best for Taurus. What's best for you. What the right decision for you is. This person's energy toward Taurus. That's how you can get out of this kind of lull that you're in. This person's energy toward Taurus. This person's energy toward Taurus, please. Definitely could be dealing with fire signs. That's a lot of fire energy coming out at once. But then you have this King of Pentacles. What the heck is this saying? And then the Seven of Swords. Oh, this person didn't show up as who they really were in this connection. I don't think they showed up like as themselves. Maybe that's why you're so confused or unsure of what to do, because maybe there's a part of you that's like, well, you know, here are all the times that things were really good. Here are all the reasons I should stay or give them another chance, or, you know, stick to this or fight for this, or whatever the case is. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everyone. Give someone a second chance. Set your boundary. Tell them how you feel. Give them a second chance. But if you start handing out third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, millionth chances, then you're in a cycle. You're in a pattern. And there's this need to kind of recognize that here in this connection. Recognize the difference between that. You know, if you are constantly feeling like your boundaries are being overstepped, like you're not getting what you deserve, and this person is promising you that they're going to change, or promising you that they're going to do it differently this time, or promising you that they're whatever the case is, but then they don't, time and time again, listen to the action. Don't listen to what they're trying to portray themselves as, because I feel like this person is trying to portray themselves as someone that they're not. I don't think they know themselves, which makes it difficult to show up as yourself if you don't know yourself, you know. I just feel like this person is in a tough place right now, and I feel like you know that, and I feel like you've tried to do what you can for them, but I also feel at the same time like all that has done is hurt you. There are inconsistencies in this connection. Their inability to show up for you, you know, it's not your burden. And you don't have to give out a millionth chances in order to receive the love that you deserve. You deserve the love that you desire without having to go through hell for it. Interesting. Okay, we're going to hop on over to the extended. You have influence and distractions with the Chariot in reverse. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Taurus, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Taurus, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Taurus.